In this video, I'm going to be sharing how I put together this beautiful farmhouse Christmas sign using Dollar Tree items. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you're super excited for Christmas crafts. I am actually just going to jump right into making this or showing you all how I put this together. My Dollar Trees do not have the Christmas signs out yet, so I'm just going to try to be reusing some of my Halloween decor and using up some of the extra fall items that I had. So I had a couple extra of these large beware signs, and these were just the perfect shape to put together to create a larger sign. So I started by removing the hangers. I don't have wood filler. Mine actually dried up. I tried to fix it, then I let it dry up again. So I'm gonna have to get some more. I would go ahead and fill in those top little holes if you do have that on hand. So to put these together, I am using some of my jumbo popsicle sticks. I picked these up at Walmart in a large pack that lasts me forever on a ton of projects. So I just hot glue all of them down to keep this really nice and tight together. And then I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice base coat. This sign I actually wanted more of like a beige color because I'm going to be using a white Christmas tree on it. So I wanted to do more of a warm color like the mineral color chalk paint instead of doing like a gray color. And the mineral color, for whatever reason, seems to separate a lot more than any other color. So that's why you see me mixing this up. I was excited to share these with you all. I actually just found these at my Dollar Tree, so I'm guessing they're a new item. But I found these little levels with the measuring ruler on the side, and I thought that these would be so handy to have while crafting. These are really nice levels. They're really sturdy and good quality. So I'm not sure how long Dollar Tree will have these, but I do recommend picking these up if you do see them. My husband was even impressed that they had these for $1, and they have the little bubble levels in there as well. I am not using the width of the level to make these. I just want to clarify that. But I am going along with the board. So like every second little notch on the side right there, I made a line. And then you can see the next one is the exact center where I pieced these two signs together. So I didn't have to draw the line there. I could see it really well in person. And then I just pretend that didn't happen. I accidentally did that with my left hand and didn't hold them down nicely. And then I went back and just drew the one at the top. So I only ended up having to draw the two lines. And then I always take a darker color to paint the middle of these boards so that they really do stand out and look like real planks of wood. But using the truffle colored brown paint is always really dramatic and really dark and bold. So I wanted to lighten it up just a tiny bit by adding, mixing those two colors together. So then I'm taking a tiny paintbrush and just kind of tracing over those lines that I drew. Next, I'm dry brushing a little bit of that same color in between the planks just to make it look more weathered. And I always love using older brushes that have kind of been worn a little bit, so they do give you a better dry brush effect. And after my paint had completely dried, I take just whatever sandpaper that I have on hand and kind of rough up the edges. You can see that I do go back and forth on the edges to kind of let that natural wood from the sign be exposed. But whenever I am sanding the front of my sign, I do try to only go in one direction, so because it kind of scratches the paint and it does make it look more realistic if it is going the same direction. So because this is a very big and bold and glittery Halloween sign, I wanted to completely cover that up just in case anybody ever sees it. It bothers me being there, so I just like to hot glue a piece of this brown craft paper from Dollar Tree over that, and then nobody ever has to know. I do like to wipe my sign down using baby wipes or a damp cloth just to remove any of the sanded excess paint dust that's still on there. And then I'm using one of these Dollar Tree wooden trees. I picked up several of these. These are perfect for all kinds of DIYs. I made some little standing trees last year. I'll link that video down below if you're interested in seeing it, using some of the wooden trees. And mine actually came from Dollar General, but these would be perfect for those as well. But for this sign, I'm going to be painting it white. Whenever I got started, I just knew I wanted the tree white, so that's kind of how I based the rest of this project off of it, how I wanted the color of my sign. And then I didn't want to put the mineral color matching the back of the sign on top of this tree, so I ended up using some gray, and I'm so happy I did. I think it turned out really pretty. I mixed a little bit of that gray in with the white. Some of my paint is still wet, so it was just giving a nice little feathered look, and I thought it looked so pretty like that. I didn't glue my tree down just yet, just to make sure that I can rearrange this sign and see how I liked it. But I wanted to use some of these gorgeous picks at the top. As you can see, some of the berries did get damaged. They were all damaged at the store, so I just picked out the best looking ones. It always seems like they struggle like shipping these. These actually came from Walmart. They were 98 cents, but Dollar Tree has these too. I just thought that these looked a little bit more high quality than the Dollar Tree ones, but feel free to use whatever you have. They sell these little picks everywhere, very inexpensive. So I just tried to turn the little white styrofoam beads that were broken towards the back, and I twisted these two picks together using their little stems, and then hot glued the places that looked like they were going to touch the sign, and I just had to hold that down there for a while, and I just tried to move everything around and kind of shape it a little bit more pretty. And then this is the pick that actually came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take one of its little pine cones because I just thought that it would be really cute to add the third pine cone to kind of fill in that little hole that's in the middle. I was so excited to see that Dollar Tree actually put out a Christmas version of the fall metal words that I use a ton in every DIY. So I'm so excited that we have some Christmas words now. I decided to use the Believe, and I actually wanted to go ahead and keep it just in the shiny silver color. And I just didn't think that it popped off of that sign like I wanted it to, so I decided to add some of this dark red burlap ribbon. This actually came from Dollar General, but the Dollar Tree definitely has tons of red ribbon options. And so as I'm making my projects, I just like to use what I think looks the most high quality. There's definitely options there, so you can choose to use more inexpensive, but this was just $2, and it's something that I can use on a ton of projects. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that down to size and then fold over and glue the edges. I picked up some of these large jingle bells from Dollar Tree. I had already used these on my witch's hat on a recent video, so I wanted to keep using these. I also thought it would be really pretty to hang like an ornament down in the center of the tree, and I started with that, but then I thought of these little jingle bells, and I just thought that they would be really cute. So I wanted to dull down that shiny silver, make these look a little bit more rustic and farmhouse. So I'm taking some of my elephant colored chalk paint and just kind of dabbing it all over so they're not so shiny. And then you will see that I took some leftover truffle brown color and kind of went over that, and I just think it gave it a really cool effect with the different tones of color popping out of there. After these bells had dried, I'm taking some of my jute string. I pick up these large rolls from Walmart, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to kind of loop it, but then I didn't want so many strings hanging down, so I decided to tie the knot on top of the bell, cut it off, and I do end up securing that with a tiny bit of hot glue. I arranged all 3 of these bells and strings so that they would be like setting at different levels and shortening some, so I just went ahead and tied it how I liked it, and then I cut off the excess string that was sticking out of the top, and then I made a little jute string bow, and so they would have a cute little bow to hang from at the top of the tree. To make a really simple jute string bow, I just use 2 of my fingers and kind of wrap it around 3 or 4 or 5 times, depending on the thickness of the bow. I trim it down and then take just another piece of the jute string and tie that or double knot that in the center. And since I didn't distress my tree or anything, I thought it looked super white and it needed a little bit extra touch. So I decided to add this beautiful little stitching around the sides. I used to do this on a ton of my door hangers that I would make and sell at craft shows, and everyone seemed to really like it. And it's just a fun little touch. I think it makes it look more homey, and I love little homemade looking projects during Christmas time. So I really think that it made it look a lot better. And then to glue this word down, I couldn't find my E6000 at the time, but I definitely recommend using E6000 or any other type of glue other than the hot glue, because it just doesn't seem like it holds very well. The hot glue dries or hardens really fast. So it left a ton of hot glue strings, and a lot of my subscribers tell me to try to use my hot hair dryer, so I ended up just using that, and it really worked really nicely, and it got rid of all those hot glue strings. This was such a fun project to put together. I love how the greenery turned out with the 98-cent picks. I think the jingle bells look really expensive and pretty and rustic, and then the Believe just pops off of that red ribbon. The Believe sign and the jingle bells coordinate, and then the red ribbon and the berries coordinate really nicely. And I just think it looks so homey and Christmas, and it's just the perfect project to make. It coming in the cool weather, you can have a craft party and make this with your friends or family. Make sure that you do tag me on Instagram so I can see if you do make this. I always love seeing the different takes that you have on my projects, so make sure that you do tag me. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed, and hopefully coming back at you with a ton of more Christmas DIYs, so make sure you are subscribed.